Hello guys, what's up? My name is Chaotic and welcome back to another GTA 5 video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be discussing new properties and businesses coming to GTA Online in the next updates. All of the Smugglers Run content has now been released into the game, so we of course are now looking towards what's next for GTA Online. And so far, Rockstar have only shared a few details with us officially on the newswire. They have told us there are going to be some new weaponized vehicles, some new cars on the Legendary Motorsports website, and some new properties on the Maze Bank Foreclosure website. But Rockstar are yet to share the name or the theme of this update just yet, but leaked information has suggested it could be hipster themed. Now hopefully at some point over the next few days, maybe as soon as tomorrow, Rockstar will announce the next update officially, giving us some more details on what's to come, and maybe they'll release a trailer as well. But until then, all we can do is speculate what the new business or businesses might be, and what these properties might be that are listed on the Maze Bank Foreclosure website, and how this will tie in and relate to the supposed hipster theme. Now so far the only suggestion are bars and nightclubs. In a way, they relate to the hipster theme that this update is supposedly going to have, and there are many of them around the map, possibly as many as 20, with 1 or 2 having interiors. And interestingly enough, many of these are in fact cut content. 14 of these bars and nightclubs were supposed to be businesses in the game from the initial launch, but for some unknown reason, they were cut. Now these were discovered years ago, back in 2014 I believe. And I made a video about these at the time, but to be honest, I completely forgot about that video until yesterday when a fellow GTA channel, Ross or Mr. Boss for the Win, who I'm sure you guys are familiar with, talked about some of these properties in a video yesterday. And he made a good point. A lot of content that we see added with each update is cut content, either from previous updates or from the initial game development. For example, the Hunter was added with the Smugglers Run updates, but it was supposed to be in GTA 5 from launch, but was cut. The Hydra, that was added in the Heist updates, and that was featured in several trailers before the launch, but it wasn't actually added until 2015. And then as for the car I'm driving around in the gameplay right now, the Rhapsody, this was added in the original I'm Not a Hipster update back in 2014, but again, it was supposed to be in the original game release. There are loads of other examples just like these, and there's still loads of cut content in the game as well, from cars to weapons, missions, and so on. And in today's video, I'm going to be showcasing some of the cut businesses. There are 14 possible bars and nightclubs that were cut from the game that we might see in the I'm Not a Hipster Part 2 update in a few weeks' time. So let's go ahead then and get straight into things. So the first business property is a bar located at the airport named Sightings. I'm sure pretty much all of you guys watching right now will know exactly where this is, but you may have not realized that this is a bar. It's a pretty big building, but doesn't have an interior in-game right now, so we can't go inside and take a look at what this bar looks like. In fact, it doesn't even have windows, but it does have 3 different entrances and a loading bay area. And the reason why that's of interest, as I'm sure you guys know, pretty much all business properties that we have in GTA Online right now have at least some form of loading bay door, with many of them giving us the option of taking vehicles inside. Moving on then to the second business property, this being the Bayview Lodge, which is a motel of sorts. It also has a bar area as well, and is of course located in Paleto Bay right here on the map. Again, I'm sure pretty much all of you guys know of this location and have been here plenty of times in GTA Online. Now this one is a little different to the other properties, mostly because it is more of a hotel than an actual bar, whereas all the other ones are specifically bars and nightclubs. But nevertheless, it is a cut business property from the bar and nightclub category, and as far as I'm aware of, it is the only bar that we have in Paleto Bay. But moving on then to the next one, this is named El Café Rojo de Mandara, which I believe is a Spanish cafe. Now despite being a cafe, it's actually listed in the bar category in the game files, and as you can see in the gameplay right now, it is located right here. Again, I'm sure most of you guys know where this is, I'm sure you guys have been here before, but in case you don't, this is the location, and you guys can go and check this out right now in the game. Then as for cockatoos, this being the 4th business property cut from the game, I'm sure pretty much all of you guys know where this is. It is just around the corner from the Los Santos Customs. In fact, I'm sure most of you guys drive past this on a daily basis, and at night you can see a pink limo parked outside, usually loads and loads of characters as well outside the entrance and so on. It's not a very big building as you guys can see, but it does have loading bays around the back. So again, if these properties are going to have storable areas inside where you can take vehicles in them, then these might be used as the entrance for those vehicles. Property number 5 is a bar named Eclipse Lounge. It is located just down the road from the Eclipse Towers, as you guys can see right now in the gameplay. But just because it's down the road from the Eclipse Towers, that's not why this bar is named the Eclipse Lounge. As you can see, its logo is literally an eclipse. The building though, as you can see, is fairly big. It has 2 stories. There are also numerous entrances, as well as some stairs going up to a raised area, and around the back, there is also a loading bay area too. Moving on then to the next property, the building itself is actually a hotel, but as I'm sure you guys know, most hotels have their own bars, and on the ground floor of this one, there is a bar named Bar Fez. It is located on the corner of the Maze Bank building, just down the road from Legion Square. Now unfortunately this one isn't all that interesting. There's nothing to really see at this location, apart from the name itself on one section of the building, but around the back there is an entrance to a garage, which presumably is for the hotel, but of course could be usable for this bar. Moving on to the next property, it is a cocktail bar named Hyman, which is located just around the corner from the hospital and the impound lot. Now again, at the moment the building itself doesn't look all that special, and there's not currently an interior we can take a look at inside, and the location itself isn't really all that great either, so if this property was available as a business, it would be one of the cheaper ones, but around the back it does have an entrance to a loading bay. The next property though is literally in Legion Square. I'll show the location on the map in a few moments, but it's basically an Irish bar named Shenanigans. Now again, at the moment, it doesn't currently look all that special, and it's only the ground floor that would be part of this bar. Of course, everything above it are apartments. There's not really a huge amount to be said about this one. Personally, it is the least special looking one, and even around the back, there's not really an official loading bay for this property. Moving on though to this next one, it is also a bar and it's named Le Bianco. It's located at the end of the Del Perro Pier, as you guys can see right now in the gameplay on the map. I believe it is a French bar, but as you can see outside there is a seating area and above it is a balcony area which you can only access by parachuting to it. Now although the bar itself isn't its own building, it's attached to a shopping mall, it's still fairly big, and around the back there is a garage which actually opens. Then as for one of the more recognizable locations, this being Singleton's, which I believe is a nightclub and bar located just around the corner from the main theaters on Vinewood Street. There's actually a fair bit of information about this location in the game files, but doesn't have an official interior in game as far as I'm aware of, and around the back, again, there is a loading bay area. It's also attached to another bar named Pitches, which in story mode is a property that you can buy. But despite this, you cannot go inside and there is no official interior. And as you can see, it is a lot smaller than the previous nightclub. But as small as it is not the smallest cut business. The smallest one being Anotica Kaplunk, which is located just down the road from the graveyard and the church. I'm showing the location right now on the map. And as you can see, it is so small, it doesn't even have an official entrance at the front. I believe the entrance to this one is around the back, but as you can see, it's not really an official entrance to a bar or a nightclub. So despite the fact that it was once going to be a viable business, but was cut, I don't think there's much chance of this one making its way into online with the next update. Moving on though to the next one, this one is named Mirror Park Tavern, of course located in Mirror Park itself, just down the road from the main lake. Here is the location being shown off right now in the gameplay, and this one, as the name suggests, is more of a tavern or a pub as opposed to a bar or a nightclub, but nevertheless, it's still quite a good location and quite a cool building as well, as I'm sure you guys would agree taking a look at this gameplay. But let's move on to the 14th and final property in today's video, this being the Bahama Mamas nightclub. Now it's worth noting, this is the only one in this video which wasn't an official cut business. All the other ones, all 13 that I've shown off, can all be found in the game files as business properties, whereas the Bahama Mamas nightclub isn't, but we all know at some point this was going to be an official nightclub in game. It wasn't upon the initial launch, but in one update, I can't remember exactly which one it was, Rockstar added an interior for the Bahama Mamas nightclub. Now players discovered this and found ways of getting inside to explore the interior, so Rockstar removed the interior from the game unfortunately, and since then it has never made a return. But who knows, maybe in this update, if there are going to be nightclubs and bars added as business properties, the Bahama Mamas nightclub is certainly ideal. So there we go then guys, those are the 14 bars and nightclubs that once going to be business properties in GTA 5, but for one reason or another were cut from the game. So who knows, maybe these will make a return in the I'm Not a Hipster update part 2, and will be business properties that we can buy and own and make money from. I'm not really too sure exactly how these would work, whether they'd be genuine businesses or somehow involved in some form of illegal activities, but I've got a feeling if the option of buying bars and nightclubs is made available with this update, we'll have the option of buying maybe 3 or 4 of them rather than just one, similar to how the whole biker businesses work, so we can operate numerous at the same time. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So I of course want to get your thoughts and feelings on all of this information. What do you guys think about these businesses? Do you guys think there is a good chance we'll be getting bars and nightclubs with the I'm Not a Hipster update part 2? Or do you guys think there's going to be a completely different business available with the update? So go ahead and leave a comment. If you guys could drop a like, it would of course be greatly appreciated and it helps me out a lot. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, make sure you do, because I upload all the latest and the greatest Grand Theft Auto 5 content. So as always guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.